Assalamu alaikum and good morning everyone. Today I am presenting the Urology Journal Club 22nd October. Topic of presentation is staging and classification of bladder carcinoma. Learning objectives: definition of non-muscle invasive bladder cancer, tumor node metastasis, TNM classification, T1 subclassification, histological grading of non-muscle invasive bladder urothelial carcinomas, carcinoma in situ and its classifications, variants of urothelial carcinoma and lymphovascular invasion, molecular classification. Coming to the definition of non-muscle invasive bladder carcinoma. Non-muscle invasive bladder carcinoma are malignant urothelial tumors that have not invaded the detrusor, or more appropriately termed as non-muscle invasive bladder cancers, which are traditionally known as superficial bladder cancers. Approximately 70% are non-muscle invasive bladder cancers at presentation. Of these, 70% is a stage TA, 20% is a T1, and 10% is a carcinoma in situ. Patients with macroscopic gross hematuria have reported rates of bladder cancer of 13% to 34%. And microscopic hematuria is associated with 0.5 to 10.5% rate of bladder cancer. Presence of irritative voiding symptoms may double the risk, especially for carcinoma in situ. Non-muscle invasive bladder carcinomas include carcinoma in situ, papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential, and low and high-grade urothelial cancer that had been called superficial bladder cancer, which was a misnomer. Coming to the TNM classification. Papillary tumors confined to the mucosa invading the lamina propria are classified as a stage TA and T1 respectively. Flat high-grade tumors that are confined to the mucosa are classified as a carcinoma in situ. Coming to the TNM classification. TX. Primary tumor cannot be assessed. T0. No evidence of primary tumor. TA. Non-invasive papillary carcinoma. TIS. Carcinoma in situ flat tumors. T1. Tumors invade the subepithelial connective tissue. T2 further divided into T2A and T2B. T2A. Tumor invade the superficial muscle, inner half, and T2B invade the deep muscle, outer half. T3 further divided into invade the perivesical tissue. T3A microscopically, T3B macroscopically extravesical mass. T4 tumor invades any of the following: prostate stroma, seminal vesicle, uterus, vagina, pelvic wall, or abdominal wall. T4A tumor invades the prostate stroma, seminal vesicle, uterus, or vagina. T4B tumor invades the pelvic wall or abdominal wall. Coming to the nodes. NX regional lymph nodes cannot be assessed, and no regional lymph node metastasis, and one metastasis in a single lymph node in the true pelvis, hypogastric, obturator, external iliac, or perisacral, and two metastasis in multiple regional lymph nodes in true pelvis, hypogastric, obturator, external iliac, or perisacral, and three metastasis in common iliac lymph nodes. Coming to the distant metastasis. M0 no distant metastasis, M1 non-regional lymph nodes, M1B other distant metastasis. This image showing carcinoma in situ, which is up to the urothelium. TA papillary tumors involving the urothelium. T1 invading into the lamina propria. T2 involving the muscle. T3 extravesical tissues, fat. T1 subclassification. Invasive urothelial carcinoma divide into two groups: lamina propria and deep muscle invasion. Lamina propria invasive tumors are high-grade cancer that can be clusters or in a single cell with a single cell invasion and having a worse prognosis. Vascular invasion can occur within the lamina propria because of a large vascular network. There is subdivision of lamina propria invasion: T1A invasion above the muscularis mucosa, T1B invasion below the muscularis mucosa. Histological grading of non-muscle invasive bladder cancer, WHO grading according to 1973. Grade 1 well differentiated, Grade 2 moderately differentiated, Grade 3 poorly differentiated. 2004 and 2016 grading system of papillary lesions. Papillary urothelial neoplasm of low malignant potential, low grade papillary urothelial carcinoma, high grade papillary urothelial carcinomas. Carcinoma in situ and its classification. Carcinoma in situ is characterized as a non-papillary, affiliate, high-grade, non-invasive urothelial carcinoma. Cells are large, pleomorphic, chromatin clumping, and abnormal mitotic figures are common. Genetic abnormality associated with CIS include alteration to the RBPT53 and PTN genes. CIS is a precursor lesion for invasive cancer, often multifocal and can occur in bladder, but also in the upper urinary tract, prostatic ducts, and prostatic urethra. Endoscopically, CIS is a reddish with heaved up mucosa and can be mistaken for inflammatory changes or radiation cystitis. Carcinoma in situ in association with invasive tumors has a worse prognosis with a 45 to 65% for 5-year death rates. Phagocytoid spread. Phagocytoid spread occur when cancer cells grow underneath a layer of a normal appearing surface urothelium. Phagocytoid spread is primarily seen in urothelial carcinoma in situ. Detection is difficult because it occurs in approximately 50% of bladders that contain carcinoma in situ and decreased to 11% in patients with papillary high malignant potential non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. It can occur in the prostatic urethra and distal ureter. This is more common after repeated dose of intravesical therapies. Therefore, biopsies of normal appearing prostatic urothelium are needed in the evaluation of patient with positive urine cytology and yet endoscopically normal bladder. Histology showing large, dark, irregular overlapping nuclei. Classification according to clinical type. Primary, isolated carcinoma in situ with no previous or concurrent papillary tumors and no previous carcinoma in situ. Secondary, carcinoma in situ detected during follow-up of patients with a previous tumor that was not carcinoma in situ. Concurrent, carcinoma in situ in the presence of any other urothelial tumor in the bladder. WHO 2004 histological classification for flat lesions. Non-malignant lesion. Urothelial proliferation of uncertain malignant potential, flat lesions without atypia or papillary aspects. Reactive atypia, flat lesions with atypia, atypia of unknown significance, urothelial dysplasia, and malignant lesion. Urothelial carcinoma is always high grade. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential is a papillary growth with a minimal cytological atypia, usually solitary and located on the trigone. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential is composed of a thin papillary stalk where the polarity of the cell is maintained and nuclei are minimally enlarged. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential has a low proliferation rate and is not associated with invasion or metastasis. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential different from a benign papilloma that it has a thicker cell layer and large nuclei with occasionally mitotic figures. Papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential reoccur within the bladder in 35% of patients, with progression is rare, occurring in less than 4%. This is showing papillary core, mildly dysplastic urothelium with loss of polarity. Variants of urothelial carcinoma and lymphovascular invasion. Currently, the following differentiations are used. Urothelial carcinoma more than 90% of all cases. Urothelial carcinoma with partial squamous or glandular or trophoblastic differentiation. Microscopically urothelial carcinoma. Nested variants, which include large nested variants and microcystic urethral carcinoma. Urothelial carcinoma, plasma cytoid, giant cell, signet, ring diffuse, undifferentiated, lymphoepithelioma like some urothelial carcinoma with other rare differentiations, small cell carcinoma, sarcomatoid urothelial carcinomas. Some variants of urothelial carcinoma, microscopically plasmacytoid, sarcomatoid, have a worse prognosis than pure high-grade urothelial carcinomas. The presence of lymphovascular invasion in TURP specimen is associated with an increased risk of pathological upstaging and a worse prognosis. Micropapillary urothelial carcinoma. Micropapillary urothelial carcinoma was first described in the early 90s as a tumor growth pattern that occurs in many organs, including bladder, breast, lung, ovary, usually manifesting at an advanced stage. The incidence of micropapillary urothelial carcinoma is 0.7% to 2% of urothelial tumors, with male to female ratio of 10:1 and an average age 65. Histologically, small tight clusters are thin papillae of atypical cells with eosinophilic to clear cytoplasm. Angiolymphatic invasion is common even in non-muscle invasive disease, highlighting the aggressive nature of this cancer. High progression rate from non-muscle invasive bladder cancer to muscle invasive bladder cancer approaching 70%, with high subsequent metastatic rate despite treatment. The most effective therapy is surgical resection. Early cystectomy is encouraged for non-muscle invasive bladder and muscle invasive bladder carcinomas. Micropapillary variant. Nested variant of urothelial carcinoma. Nested variant of urothelial carcinoma is a rare but aggressive cancer. Male to female ratio is 6:1. Can be confused with a benign lesion such as cystitis cystica, inverted papillomas due to von Burn nests and the lamina propria. Found to be locally advanced at the time of presentation. This is nested variants. Coming toward the clear cell variants of urothelial carcinoma. 70% of urothelial cancer will have foci of clear cells within the tumor. Clear cells contain glycogen-rich vacuoles and may be confused with metastatic clear cell carcinoma of the kidney. Clear cell variant doesn't portend a significantly worse prognosis for urothelial carcinomas. Coming toward the glandular or adenocarcinoma differentiation. Glandular differentiations occur only in 6% of urothelial carcinomas. It is defined as the presence of two glandular spaces within the tumor. It is important that these glandular spaces not to be confused with lymphatic invasion or with processing artifacts. Mucin production can occur and tumor cell seems to be floating in the mucin. Adjuvant chemotherapy, radical cystectomy is the best method for the treatment for glandular differentiated urothelial cancer. This is showing the plasmacytoid tumors. Variants of urothelial carcinoma characterized by plasmacytoid cells with central nuclei. This variant is often invaded through the bladder wall and into the perivesical adipose tissues at the time of diagnosis. These tumors usually diagnosed at an advanced stage in part because of the onset of hematuria is delayed as a result of the sessile and non-papillary tumor growth pattern. According to WHO in 2016, plasmacytoid variants include the signet ring variant, which is defined by the presence of cytoplasmic vacuoles with or without intracellular mucin. These tumors respond very poorly to systemic chemotherapy. The high-grade tumor arranged in a discohesive sheets, plasmacytoid features, and a prominent retraction. Non-urothelial malignancies, sarcomas, most common mesenchymal tumor of the bladder. It constitutes less than 1% of all bladder cancers. Leiomyosarcoma is the most common histological subtype, followed by rhabdomyosarcoma, and then rarely angiosarcoma and osteosarcoma and carcinosarcoma. Male to female ratio is 2:1 and average age of presentation is the 6th decade of life. Majority are high grade and more than 75% are confined to the bladder muscle. Most common presenting symptom is gross painless hematuria in 79%, followed by local irritative symptoms in 16%. Grade of sarcoma is the primary prognostic factor. Treatment for localized diseases include radical cystectomy. Local recurrence rate is 2.4% times higher in patients with positive surgical margins. Most effective chemotherapeutic agents are doxorubicin, efzofitimod, and cisplatin. Most common site for metastasis is lung, followed by bone, liver, and rarely soft tissues. Small cell carcinoma. Rare, poorly differentiated neuroendocrine neoplasm that primarily arise in the lung that occur in extrapulmonary site including prostate and bladder. Patients typically seen with hematuria, there have been reports of paraneoplastic syndrome, including hypercalcemia, Cushing syndrome, and sensory neuropathy. Clinically aggressive and chemosensitive. Platinum-based chemotherapy is the initial treatment. Cisplatin and etoposide are currently treatment of choice based on the standard aging. Small cell carcinoma, cytoplasmic imparting blue appearing. Squamous cell carcinoma. Chronic infection with the schistosoma hematobium or other bacterial lead to squamous cell carcinoma of the bladder. The central factor contributing to the development of squamous cell carcinoma is the chronic inflammation of the urinary tract, which lead into squamous cell carcinoma. Radical cystectomy is the mainstay of the treatment of squamous cell carcinoma. No role proven of new adjuvant chemotherapy till date. Lymphovascular invasion. The key phenotypic change that occurs in urothelial carcinoma, that is distant metastasis, is the ability to invade the angiolymphatic system, which is seen in muscle invasive urothelial carcinoma in 25% of cases. Angiolymphatic invasion is a poor prognostic sign with a 40% risk of nodal disease and is an independent predictor of overall cancer-specific survival. Use of CD31 and CD34 monoclonal antibodies with immunohistochemistry to accurately identify the blood vessels, in contrast to tumor retraction artifacts. Molecular biology. Several molecular alterations are found to be common in bladder cancer, including FGFR3 alterations, PI3K pathway alterations, activation of mitogen activated protein kinase signaling, defects in cell cycle activation, HAG-HOG and WNT signaling. Inactivation of RB1 and CDKN2A are very common, and P53 inactivations occur in many as 76% of muscle invasive bladder carcinomas. Genetic alterations that are the hallmark of non-muscle invasive bladder carcinoma are FGFR3 alterations and deletions of chromosome 9p and chromosome 9q. Dual deletion encoding of P53 and PTN leads to development of metastatic bladder cancers. Molecular classification. Molecular groups are based on the cancer genome types: basal bladder carcinoma with basal and collodine low type group, luminal BC with luminal and P53 like subtypes. The basal group shows overexpression of epidermal growth factor receptor and is chemosensitive. Luminal type can display an overexpression of fibroblast growth factor receptor 3, epidermal growth factor receptors, and is a chemoresistant. Molecular subgroups include luminal papillary, luminal non-specified, luminal unstable, stroma-rich basal, neuroendocrine-like. Each class has a distinct differentiation pattern, oncogenic mechanisms, tumor microenvironment, and histological and clinical associations. The classification considered as a research tool for retrospective and prospective studies until future studies will establish how these molecular subgroups can be used best in a clinical staging. Risk stratification. Low risk. Low-grade solitary tumors at TA less than 3 cm, papillary urothelial neoplasia of low malignant potential. Intermediate risk. Recurrence within 1 year, low-grade TA, solitary low-grade TA more than 3 cm, low-grade TA multifocal, high-grade TA less than 3 cm, low-grade T1. High risk. High risk are including high-grade T1, any recurrent high-grade TA, high-grade TA more than 3 cm multifocal, any CIS, any BCG failure in high-grade patients, any variant histology, any lymphovascular invasion, any high-grade prostatic urothelial involvement. This is the AUA muscle non-invasive bladder carcinoma algorithm, divided into low risk, intermediate risk, high risk. Low risk: post-operative chemo, complete response, surveillance. If reoccurrence within 1 year, then reassess as an intermediate risk. Intermediate risk: induction chemo. If partial or no response, then BCG. If partial or no response, reinduce. Then if partial or no response, go for cystectomy. Complete response, maintenance for 1 year, and surveillance. If recurrence, then cystectomy. High grade, high risk with T1 with lymphovascular invasion plus minus variants. Cystectomy. Re-TURBT for incomplete previous TURBT. And BCG for complete response, maintenance for 3 years. Summary of evidence and guidelines for the bladder carcinoma. The depth of invasion staging is classified according to the TNM classification. Papillary tumors confined to the mucosa and invading the lamina propria are classified as a stage TA and T1 respectively. Fillet high-grade tumors that are confined to the mucosa are classified as a carcinoma in situ, TIS. For histological classification of non-muscle invasive bladder carcinoma, both WHO 1973 and 2004 grading systems are used. Recommendations. Use 2017 TNM system for classification of the depth of the tumor. Use both 1973 and 2004 and 16 WHO grading system. Strong recommendation. Don't use the term superficial bladder carcinoma. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.